What's up, everybody? I'm back at the desk. Got the camera facing me today, not writing today, just talking. And I wanted to talk about a topic that I think is important because I've kind of gotten glimpses. I haven't seen it 100% for sure, but I've kind of got glimpses that there's a lot of penmen out there, especially penmen that have given penmanship a real sincere effort or have kind of engaged or embarked on a exploration of penmanship past the surface level of just the how-tos and the tips and tricks of how to improve your handwriting. I definitely have no interest in helping people improve their handwriting. I definitely want to help people learn the art form and go deep into it, and whether it's cursive or calligraphy or something else, kind of take that attitude of exploration and going deep into something to whatever they want to apply it to. Just feel like that's where satisfaction lies, not in the 3 easy ways to improve your penmanship and take my class on how to polish your penmanship and all that stuff. I don't care about that. So the problem I'm talking about is sustaining, whatever you want to call it, motivation, sustaining your practice, maybe might be the way to put it. I see a lot of penmanship kind of have this like haha joke where it's like, oh, I've thought about quitting, or I'm thinking about quitting right now, and I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. Like, I'm not getting better. And I've been there so many times over the past 3 years, and I've only been doing this 3 years, so I can't imagine. There's people that have been doing it for a longer time, and I don't think it's something that will really end unless you take the right approach, and really explore where this lack of sustainability is coming from. So how can we? I think it's a problem. It's not a problem, but it's not very effective to be in this place where one day you're interested in practicing penmanship and studying it and learning it and growing in the art, and then the next day you're thinking about quitting. I don't think that's a recipe for success. It's not a recipe for satisfaction. It's if you're chasing something in this art form, if you want to get something out of this art form, you're not going to get it by being on a roller coaster every other week or every other month thinking about quitting the art form. It's not a healthy way to approach it. I don't think. And it's something I've struggled with, and I'm just trying to explore why it is and how can I get to the point where I never entertain those ups and downs again. I never entertain quitting again. I never think about the hopelessness of the art again. How can we get there? I think that's really the $1 million question, is how can we find that sustainability in the art? And I have some thoughts. I'm kind of reluctant to give them, but because I think it's important for people to explore this question themselves. Like, whatever answers I give today, like, it's not like they're going to be like, all right, I just need to do what Dave says and I'll never think about quitting again either. And not that there's anything wrong with quitting either. Like, I want to get to the point where if one day I decide to quit, I quit and I walk away and I say, all right, that was a lot of fun. I got a lot of satisfaction out of my study and practice of penmanship, and I'm happy with what I did there, and I'm going to walk away and move on to something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think artists do it all the time, and really great artists do it all the time, or even athletes, they walk away from a game really early. People are like, why did they do that? And if they did it because it was giving them something, and then it kind of stopped giving it to them, and they got frustrated and they quit and they said, I'm going to move on to something else, and then they went on to something else, and they kind of kept that cycle of highs and lows in whatever art form they went on to, then I don't see how that's effective. But if they quit because they knew it was the right time to quit, then that's totally cool. So, like I said, moving from this up and down, thinking about quitting, not quitting on a weekly, monthly basis, to going to the point of we're just practicing the art and there's no ups and downs. And it's becoming pretty obvious to me as I think about it that like the only reason you have ups and downs in this art is if you were looking for the art to give you something, or you were using the art to chase after something. And then you can chase after something through art. Like you can chase after money, fame, Instagram followers and likes and comments and respect from your peers. You can chase after that, but you can't really control when and how often and at what volume those things come back to you. They kind of just come on their own. And if the rate at which you're receiving those things determines how you feel about the art, then you're always going to be at the whims of that flow of when those things are coming to you, and your feelings about the art are going to change like the weather. One day you're going to feel great about it, the next day you're going to feel terrible about it, hopeless about it, and you're going to want to quit. So it seems to me that the only way to get out of that is to really find reasons to practice the art that have nothing to do with those temporary circumstantial rewards. What are the things in this art form, in penmanship, whatever art you do, whatever type of calligraphy you do, that you can rely on day after day, that you're going to that it's going to bring into your experience, you're going to get from it. And just off the top of my head, thinking about what are those things for me right now, and one of them is just an opportunity to explore an art form and to discover things about it. There's so many things that I don't know about it. There's things that maybe people have talked about, other people have discovered them, maybe they even talked about them, but they're not things that I've really discovered myself. And even if they've told me about them, I haven't had that firsthand experience of them. And I know there's so many, like there's an endless amount of those things. So that's one thing right there that I know if I practice this art for the rest of my life, I'll keep finding those things, little truths about the art form. And I find a lot of satisfaction in that, for sure. And then I think the other thing that the art gives, especially, writing, any type of art, really, it kind of gives you this opportunity to just really lose yourself in the art when you're practicing it. And I think we've all had that experience when we're writing. Or maybe it's doing something, maybe you haven't had it in writing yet and you're still getting there. But you've had it in something else, most likely, where you're not thinking about what you have to do, your problems. You're not thinking about who's going to see the art that you're creating. You're not thinking about what the final result's going to be. Doesn't mean you're not monitoring what's going on or trying to create a certain result, but you're just writing. You're just doing it. You're just letting it flow. You're just letting it flow through you. You're letting the art come out of you. I haven't really had that many experiences with that, but I've had a few rare ones. And those experiences alone are kind of, I don't know if I want to go so far as to say that they make life worth living, but I think they're definitely some of the special experiences you can have in life. And I think, if that's something that the art can give you every day, if you're willing to put down that chase, if you're willing to put down the chase for all those other things, because when you're doing it for the follows and the likes and the money and the fame and the adoration, those things kind of they interfere with that with that flow process. They kind of make it impossible because it's kind of like putting yourself between, putting like all your hopes and dreams and desires in between yourself and the page, and it like totally interferes with your ability to have any type of true expression of the art form. So those are just my thoughts right now. As always, a little rambly and not totally thought out, but that's what I'm doing here, and that's what I'm putting up today. And I've been thinking about this for a couple weeks, and I finally made the video because I just had to finally think this through. So I appreciate you for watching it. If you've made it to the end here, I appreciate you if you're subscribing, if you're liking the video, if you're leaving a comment. That's really awesome. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. I've kind of taken it in a certain direction, but it really starts with that kernel of the problem of having these ups and downs in the art and feeling good about the art one day and feeling bad about it the other day, and how to escape that, how to be okay with that, or kind of transcend it, I guess, in a way, and get past that. That's the question. That's the most important part of this video, not my attempt at answering it. Answers are kind of cheap. They come and go. They're kind of temporary. And the questions are like the real deal. That's how I feel about that. So I'd love to hear what you think about that question in the comments. If you have the time, I would be honored to respond to you as well. So thank you for watching. If you want to contact me, find me on social media. I'm at Perfect Biscuits. My website is perfectbiscuits.com. Please check it out, and I will see you next time.